Hello everyone, my name's Ed and this is Ask Ed. Today we're going to be taking a look at a question that I got from a very good friend of mine. I will try to give him some advice and hopefully if anyone else has a similar problem going on in their life, this could help them as well. Now, before we get started, I would like to say that I am not an expert of any kind and that what you will find here is just my point of view and all I want is to open a healthy conversation regarding the topics we will discuss here. Alright, now with that out of the way, here is the question. I'm on my last year of uni and I've been thinking about taking a part-time job. But I still feel like I'm not qualified for the job and I have so much more to learn. So maybe I shouldn't take it until I graduate? So here are my thoughts in 5 points. Number 1. Let's start with a question. Why do people go to uni? Essentially to start a career. Now of course that doesn't necessarily mean that your career has to be in whatever you choose to study at uni. You know, some people go to university to major in one thing and halfway through figure their interests lie elsewhere, and so they change majors. Some finish their actual major that they first started, only to go on a totally different path once they graduate. But anyways, without going too much into detail, the general idea is that university is the starting point of your professional career life. So I would say that if you are on your last year and there is a job opportunity in something that attracts you, well, you should definitely consider taking it. In other words, if the goal of going to uni is to find your professional path and on your last year there is an open door, well, that sounds to me like you have succeeded in that sense. Number 2. Okay. Now the second point I want to make, and this one is actually a really interesting topic that perhaps we'll discuss more in depth in a later video, but it is still worth mentioning here. It's something called imposter syndrome, which can play a huge role in your decision-making process when it comes to your professional life. In simple words, what I'm trying to say is that you'll never be ready fresh out of uni to do any job, and that's okay. You see, when you say that you feel you aren't qualified for the job and there's so much more you need to learn, it makes me think that it's important for you to remember that you're not the only one going into a professional environment who feels like they're not ready, that they're not capable, or that they should still go back to the books and learn some more. Now, of course, I'm not saying that any job should be given to anyone with zero to no knowledge and with hopes and self-confidence alone they will perform perfectly well. Evidently not. However, you're not ignorant of whatever your career is since you're already on your last year and you didn't get there by chance. You have learned, you have studied, and if there are things that you could still improve on, no employer really expects you to know all the ins and outs of a job on day one. Whenever you start a job, there is a training period, there is a learning curve, and it is okay to not know, to ask for help from senior colleagues, and to get the hang of it after some time doing the job. So with this bit, I would say, let the recruiter do their job. Go to the interview, tell them about yourself, and what you know, and trust and believe in what you have indeed learned. Be honest, and let them decide if you're suited for the role. Number 3. Demanding experience is something rather common from employers, so the sooner you tick that box, the better. I think it's no secret that employers see hiring someone as an investment of time and resources. So as a result, they always want to make that investment in someone that will bring the most benefits for the organization they represent. And a way in which they tend to like to measure the potential for success at the job of an applicant is based on their experience on the field and the performance they have displayed in the past. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. The problem rises when some employers tend to blindly favor or sometimes even disregard applicants with no experience over those who do have some. And I say a problem because essentially what this does is recently graduated students end up at a disadvantage where they have the needed education the passion, and likely all the desire to learn and commit to the success of the organization. But since they have been busy with studies up until recently, well, they have no working experience to show for. Having to deal with this situation and how many doors it closes for a recently graduated student can be a very frustrating and painful experience, since you could end up feeling helpless when recruiters ask you for experience in order to get a job that will grant you the experience that they're asking for. So in my opinion, the opportunity you mentioned you have of starting work on your last year of university could prove extremely useful to avoid finding yourself in this paradox that I mentioned and having this no experience equals no job situation. So in short, even if this isn't your dream job, it might be a good idea for you to take it, since it will give you that edge of having working experience added to your CV as early as graduating from university. Number 4. Balance is key. It is for students and it will be for you as a professional. So finding the balance between getting the experience you need and not failing your last year is the way to go. Up until this point, I've discussed and focused on the advantages of taking on a job during your last year of uni. But that is not to say that everything about it is perfect. You have to be able to find a balance between how much time you will need to allocate to this new job and how much time your final year will demand of you. All majors are different and all units operate differently, resulting in some students' last year being more stressful than others at times. For you, make sure you find the right balance, be clear and transparent with yourself and with the people who offer you this job opportunity. Let them know early in advance about exams dates and other relevant dates of your academic calendar, so you can work out a well-balanced system that works for you to succeed in your final year and of course to make the most out of this new chance. Number 5. Finals determine whether you graduate or not. They do not, however, have the power to grant you a job, so do your best and prepare as best as you can for them. But don't obsess over them if your goal is to start a job. The thing is, figure out whether or not the effect, which it will definitely have, of this new job won't go as far as to make you fail a test. If you feel capable of handling the final exams and the start of a new job, then for sure do it. Since having working experience on the CV straight out of uni is not a luxury many can claim to have. Speak with a teacher if you think that will help, or a tutor who knows your situation at uni, and also the demand a final year might have, and see what their opinion is on the subject. So my friend, to recap, the opportunity you've been presented is a good one, and definitely has a lot of advantages. Be honest with yourself regarding how much pressure you can handle, how organized you are with your time, and if the answer to those are positive, then do take the job. Furthermore, if what is stopping you is the feeling of you're not ready or you should be better prepared, know that you're not the only one to have these feelings, and regardless of how you feel, as long as you don't lie about your qualifications, let the recruiters be the ones who decide if you're fitted for the job or not. Best of luck, and alright everyone, so that's all I had for you today. That's it for today's topic. I hope you liked it, hope you enjoyed it, and you find it somewhat useful. If there is anything you think could be added to what I said today regarding this topic, please feel free to bring it up in the comment section, engage in conversation, talk with each other. I might even reply to some messages, and why not? And we can all just learn from one another. Remember to take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't claim to speak the truth, I am simply speaking my mind. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed it, hope you all liked it. If you guys have any questions that you think would be interesting to address in these videos, please let me know. You can leave them as a suggestion and I'll see to it if I have anything to say regarding those. I'll probably make a video about it. I'm very new with this is actually my very first video, so yeah, I hope it's useful, and And that's all I had for you today, guys. So yeah, be kind, be polite, be respectful, and have a good one.